So now we're getting to the fun part where we can play with some of these tools that you've learned and put them to use. So let's listen to this sound. This is the same cello sound that we've been using. Now, I've created this cello sound and created a loop here. So I've moved the start point to the middle of the cello sound and brought the loop down to 0 because I don't want it to loop. It kind of creates that undulating sound, so I don't want that. And then I've brought the length to a place where I think that it sounds good for this sample here. And then I brought the fade all the way up so that it fades. The crossfade, so we don't get that grainy sound. And then the snap is turned on because if the snap is turned off, it makes that noise at the end. And we don't want that. And then also loop on, so it'll continue looping as we listen to it. So I've tried to create the cleanest sound possible here with this envelope. Now I'm going to turn the filter on. We're going to use a low pass filter. I'm going to bring the filter frequency back up just a tad. And let's go ahead and turn on the LFO and turn up the LFO amount. So you can hear that it's starting to wobble, and we've got this nice sine wobble. And if I change the beats here, I'm changing the rate of the wobble, so how fast it's wobbling. And this is according to the project tempo. So now I can actually MIDI map this if I want to with a knob on my controller. So if I go to beats, MIDI map mode, and then beats, and turn the knob, now when I move the knob, it's going to change the LFO rate, which is what you're hearing in all these dubstep songs. Dubstep's kind of all the rage these days, so probably hearing quite a bit of this using Simpler or various other instruments like Native Instruments Massive. I mean, even Britney Spears has a wobble bass in her new song, so it's definitely hit the mainstream, for better or for worse. Now, the next thing I want to do is go over to the glide section here. I'm going to change the glide time and bring this up. So this is how the notes are smoothing into one another or gliding into one another. So you can hear, just have it very slight right now. But there's a definite change there. And when I bring the time up, it kind of morphs into the next sound a little bit easier. If I bring it all the way up, it's going to completely do something we don't want it to do. So let's bring it back down. And then I'm going to bring the spread up to detune the voices a little bit. So listen to it without and then with it on. So now we've got ourselves a pretty cool sounding wobble bass just from a cello. But if I add a saturator, we can really add some grit to it. I'm going to turn the beats up here so we can hear it a little bit faster. And filter frequency down just a taste, and the resonance up just to hear what that sounds like. So now I'm just designing the sound. I'm trying to figure out what the sound is going to be like and just messing with some of the parameters. Now I'm going to bring this to 140, the global tempo, because the dubstep tempo is either 70 or 140. So now you can hear it kind of at a faster pace. And if I bring the beats up, now if I put an overdrive on, that really crunches it. So I can filter down this overdrive a bit. And there you have it. There's our dubstep wobble bass made from a cello. So stay tuned on how to make your own simpler instrument rack. Even if you don't have sampler, you can add multiple simplers together to create a more complex sound.